And then you got the Noble Mobile pin on your jacket.
Yes,
and
Noble Mobile, let's go.
And so we're doing a partnership here. You can show it. We're transparent. We're not playing like.
No, you're not.
Like nobody's hiding the ball. Go.tyt.
We're 27 minutes in to a 32-minute segment.
So I sent you a screenshot the other day, Zach, of a new sponsor TYT has, which is it's called Noble Mobile.
Yep.
I want to say. And I was like, hey, look, new TYT sponsor just dropped. New corporate sponsor just dropped. It seems like every day now you tune into the Young Turks and there's some new fucking corporate sponsor. Luckily, they did not, at least to my knowledge, they haven't renamed their studio the Noble Mobile Studio yet. But they are now sponsored by Noble Mobile, which you informed me, Zach. I didn't even know this, but it's Andrew Yang's company. As soon as he realized that his presidential ambitions were going to work out, as soon as the Forward Party totally flamed out exactly as we predicted that it would, he decided to segue into becoming a cell phone salesman. Wow. Real impressive trajectory for Mr. Andrew Yang, who at one point was on top of the world. Even after losing his presidential bid, there was a time where he was the front runner to become mayor of New York City. Pretty crazy. Now no one gives a shit about him. And if you've been watching the Vanguard for a while, you know that this guy is one of the biggest grifters on the block. We've been covering the grifting of Andrew Yang basically for as long as this channel's been around. I still contend that I'm glad he introduced the concept of UBI into the discourse. I think that was necessary and really his only serious contribution, in addition to a couple other good policies like democracy dollars and stuff like that. But after that original campaign, he totally flamed out. Anything he once stood for went to the wayside, and he just became this kind of cringy grifter who, again, now sells cell phone plans to you. But I noticed that he got invited on TYT, not just TYT, but the Revolution.
Okay, is that Cenk's thing? Is that affiliated with the Young Turks?
Well, I was about to show you. Apparently it is, and apparently it's new. It currently has 393 subscribers. So again, I think this was launched pretty recently. It only has 10 videos on the channel right now, but as you can see, most of them are getting like 500 views. I don't really understand why it was necessary to create a whole other channel for like this stupid Revolution crap when you could just put it on the fucking, regular TYT channel and get more than 500 views. Seems really embarrassing to do this, but yeah, what was your reaction to this Revolution thing?
I actually, charitably to Cenk, assumed that it was something affiliated with Andrew Yang. It looks like Forward Party bullshit. I was like, who would possibly name in 2025, Gavin, Revolution? I mean, people don't understand. Gavin and I, sometimes we talk about this, right? And it's a little bit blowing smoke up our ass, but it's like, we should have a consultancy for how to brand yourself in progressive media, for how to release content in progressive media, to how to make a thumbnail that somebody's going to click on, right? How to think as a viewer and as somebody who's going to approach this content, not just as somebody who wants to stroke yourself off and make something that makes you feel like a genius, release something that makes you feel like you sound smart. This is bullshit. This is crazy. The Revolution. I mean, graphic design is my passion. Doesn't even come close to this. This is like, I spent 10 minutes in clip art and I came up with our logo. Like, this is like the kind of thing that Gavin and I would use as a stand-in when we're not ready to launch, but when him and I are doing things behind the scenes, it's like, oh, I'll just make it this so we have it for while we're looking at it so it doesn't look like an empty space. But before we launch, we'll change the graphic design, and then the name just being just so thoughtless, just so without originality, uninspired. Our Revolution, but ripped off and shittier, dumber. I mean, those are all my thoughts.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's weird and unnecessary. I just don't really understand why they had to make another channel when they already have like Rebel headquarters and all these other other ancillary channels. So it's weird, but it's not as cringe as this interview itself, because much like the 30-minute long infomercial that Cenk hosted, pretending like it was journalism with the founder of Chapter, this is the exact same thing. It's literally essentially an excuse for Andrew Yang to hawk his stupid new cell phone plan to you, again, under the guise of this discussion about third-party candidates, which in and of itself is fucking laughable, considering the fact that Andrew Yang's Forward Party completely crashed and burned. It totally fell apart. It was a huge grift to sell one of his stupid books, which, by the way, apparently he has another on the way. What a shock. Andrew Yang has a book to sell me? I can't fucking believe it. I'm truly stunned. But either way, you guys are going to see the cringy first couple minutes, and then towards the end when they really just get shameless and rip the mask off of what this segment actually is, which, as I mentioned, is an infomercial.
Okay, wait, I gotta ask you about a couple things. You got a book coming out?
It's wow. I'm not.
Can I not say that?
It's going to be announced on Monday, so please do keep an eye out.
You're doing Forward Party. You got the book coming out, and I appreciate that you broke the news here. And everybody, make sure you're checking it out on Monday.
Andrew Yang is
All right,
so
guys, welcome
unamused.
to the Rebel.
Yeah, he looks like he'd rather be doing literally anything else. Also, do you like how they stole Gavin's little coming up thing that we used to do on all of our videos? They started learning from us.
Yup. They're trying to stay relevant. I mean, with a piece of content like this, you have to try to make it as sexy as it seems, because no one's gonna watch this shit. But even in the coming up, the most exciting thing is that Andrew Yang is gonna announce his new fucking book. Wow, who the fuck cares? Literally, no one gives a shit.
Revolution. That's the show we're doing now. Make sure you're checking it out on Monday. All right, guys, welcome to the Revolution. That's the show we're doing now to try to revolt peacefully, nonviolent, against the political system that we have now. We're not revolting against the Constitution. We love the Constitution. We'd love to go back to the Constitution. Not revolting against democracy. We love democracy. We'd love to go back to democracy, right? We're revolting against this current corrupt system. So joining me in studio now is a guy who's used to a little bit of a revolt against this so-called two-party system, Andrew Yang. Hey,
Welcome.
how you doing, brother?
Great to be here, Cenk. We're going to revolt against that which is revolting.
Oh, there you go. Okay. It's good to have you back in the studio.
Really funny material there. Let's hear that one again.
This so-called two-party system, Andrew Yang. Hey,
Welcome.
how you doing, brother?
Great to be here, Cenk. We're going to revolt against that which is revolting.
Oh, there you go. It's good to have you back in the studio, brother.
It's great to be here. It's been too long. I'm going to have to become a new regular.
All right, I like it. Okay, let's.
Andrew Yang is bringing the kind of energy that I bring to a job interview after I ate like a 150 milligram edible. It's like I know I'm supposed to be energetic, but the second I have a moment where I think the pressure's off, I'm back to my yeah, I can't wait. Thank you so much, man. Back to yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, I don't know, attempt at like dad humor, but it just seems so forced and awkward. Yeah.
Said he sounds like he's been hanging out with Elon Musk.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, you're right.
On politics. At the end, one of our members has a question for you on Noble Mobile, so I'll throw that in. But
one of the members has a question on Noble Mobile. Cenk didn't just set up this whole interview as an excuse to fucking let Andrew Yang hawk his new bullshit, which is also a new sponsor of TYT. Nope, it's just a viewer with a question. What an outrageous fucking lie. Just be honest about what it is. At least the chapter one was like kind of honest about what it was.
All right, I like it. Okay, let's start on politics. At the end, one of our members has a question for you on Noble Mobile, so I'll throw that in. But let's stick 98% of politics here. So you got the Forward Party, obviously.
Yes.
So tell us.
And then they talk about the Forward Party, which is a total fucking scam. Towards the end, they get into the Noble Mobile stuff.
So they don't even at the top of this address the fact that it is a sponsor, right? Like Noble Mobile sponsors TYT. So it's a direct conflict of interest. At least in the chapter one at the very beginning, he has the, journalistic integrity to be like, the chapter sponsors us. This one, maybe they get to it 25, however many minutes in, but you should have really put it at the top of the hour.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is where the commercial starts. Even if it's not, I'm sure it'll be super cringy.
Oh my God, we're already out of time. Jeez and Lord mercy, that went quick. Okay, wait, I gotta ask you about a couple things. You got a book coming out?
Wow. I'm not.
Can I not say that?
It's going to be announced on Monday, so please do keep an eye out. But yeah, I have a book coming out in February.
We're on Friday. You gotta help me break the news.
And I'm here. Okay, I will break the news, though you can't even find it. But it's called "Hey Yang, Where's My $1,000?" And other true stories of staggering depth. The alternate title was "Hey, am I racist or are you Andrew Yang?" Both of these things have been asked of me, and it's humorous inside accounts of the last number of years because I had all of these stories I'd never had an opportunity to share, and so I decided to write them down in book form.
Did you go back to growing up and all that?
I did, because when you start telling these stories and you're like, oh shoot, I guess I have to share a little bit of, my upbringing, and then you mine it for humor, and and then it goes from there. I didn't intend to originally. When I sat down right now, I was like,
backyard for diamonds
at this year, but then it didn't make any sense, so I had to go back a little bit further.
Yeah, so you're a busy brother here, okay? So you're doing Forward Party, you got the book coming out, and I appreciate.
He says, yeah, he's like, he knows he has an obligation to ask him a certain number of questions that like are beneficial to Yang and that like will hype up this noble mobile thing. And so as soon as Andrew Yang answers it, he's like, okay, now we're gonna move on to the next. Like he has no authentic interest in any of this shit, and it does really remind me of the kind of content you're fed when you're pumping your gas at the Shell station.
Yup, 100%. My question is, do you think that the spoil of the book announcement was real? Like, do you think that Cenk accidentally spilled the tea, or do you think that was like planned?
I have no idea. And what's sad is that it doesn't really make a difference either way. Nobody gives a shit about this book. It's awkward if they didn't talk about it, but I imagine there was some sort of a discussion about how, oh yeah, I'm happy to do this. I've got a book coming out later. And so Cenk's like, oh, let me ask you about this book. And Andrew Yang's like, well, there's actually nothing about this book yet. It has a really crappy 2010 title. And it's a bunch of, essays I wrote while I was masturbating. And I'm really excited to maybe milk some more attention out of myself instead of just semen.
Yeah, there you go. That's the subtitle. But that is a stupid name. Hey, Andrew Yang, where's my $1,000? Like, okay. That's awkward. And yeah, no one cares. Tales from my failed presidential run that I got 2% in. Yeah, everyone's dying to fucking pick up a copy of that from a presidential cycle like 2 cycles ago. Who even gives a fuck, bro? No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
No one watches your podcast. No one gets excited about your fake third party.
Thanks for the follow on Twitter, though, Andrew.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Andrew. Also, one thing that always just sticks in my mind is that when we were a very young podcast, I think we had like maybe 15,000 subscribers or less, but we'd had some pretty exciting interviews that we thought were really, serious feathers in our cap. We had Congresswoman Cori Bush on the show. I think we'd even had Noam Chomsky on the show potentially at that time, and we reached out to Andrew Yang to talk with him, and his fucking spokesperson emailed us back and said, sorry guys, Andrew doesn't even consider going on shows that don't have 50,000 subscribers or more. Now we do, but I don't think we have much interest in that conversation anymore.
Yeah, sorry, Yang.
Yeah, you can't come sell your book on our show.
Jay, that you broke the news here, and everybody make sure you're checking it out on Monday. Okay, so you have a place where you can buy it. So where should they go, by the way?
The easiest thing is just go to andrewyang.com. We'll have a link up.
andrewyang.com. That's super easy. Okay, and then you got the Noble Mobile pin on your jacket.
Yes,
and
Noble Mobile. Let's go.
And so we're doing a partnership here. You can show it. We're transparent. We're not playing like.
No, you're not.
Like nobody's hiding the ball. Go.tyt.
We're 27 minutes in to a 32-minute segment. Nobody makes it to the end of your fucking videos, Cenk. Go look at your Google AdSense. It's going to show you an average view duration of like 2 minutes and 41 seconds because people are like, what the fuck? Andrew Yang and Cenk Uygur? And then they're like, oh, it's boring me to tears. I'm going to click away now. So they don't make it 27 minutes and 27 seconds in for everybody to realize Andrew Yang paid you to interview him so that you could hawk his stupid Noble fucking Mobile. It's insane. This is low. This is just pathetically low, even for the Young Turks. And the only thing that makes it, I guess, somewhat better is that it's going to be totally ineffective. It's not going to work. Andrew Yang is not going to be able to thread the needle from his like tech brain into his popularity with working people because he's already been labeled a scammer that nobody takes seriously.
Yeah, and now he's back to just blatantly doing that job of scamming people with shit like this instead of pretending to be like a public servant or whatever. Because back in the day, I forget exactly what he did, but he ran some fucking grifting company. What was it called?
Venture America,
where they would start up all these companies that were like we want to help startups that aren't
for America, but
yeah, Venture for America. And it was like, we're going to help startups that aren't just in San Francisco or New York or whatever. And then like we read an article about how literally all the startups they helped fund eventually moved to one of those cities anyway. like as soon as they got big enough to. So all the fucking companies he like helped out with this like investment shit or whatever, they all just became the thing that it was trying to counter in the first place. It was a total fucking scam.
Yeah, and I have a lot of personal history with the Venture for America shit. When I was in business school, it was all the fucking rage. It was right before Andrew Yang ran for president, and this is why he probably thought he was like a genius, because he was getting all kinds of flowers. And I remember I knew multiple people that applied for Venture for America. A friend that Gavin and I have mutually went down to New Orleans to go work for a Venture for America program. They ended up landing on their feet, but Gavin's totally right. It was a massive scam. The vast majority of the startups closed or were bought by a larger venture capital firm immediately, and then the original crew was let go. I actually lost my fucking job at KC Rise Fund, the first venture capital firm I ever worked at, which is a crazy thing to say, but it was the first venture capital firm I ever worked at. And then they hired a guy from Venture for America because you could pay them less, and then they fired me. They were like, sorry, we're going to hire this guy, Chad. His name was Chad. They hired a guy named Chad and then fired me. That's why I ended up working at Zigo.
But yeah, Andrew Yang's a total grifter, and now he's back to that again, dropping all of the pretense of like, you know, being a public servant or whatever. Now he's hawking Noble Mobile.
Yes,
And
Noble Mobile, let's go.
And so, you know, we're doing a partnership here. You can show it. We're transparent. We're not playing like nobody's hiding the ball. You go.tyt.com/switch. We don't like. I didn't want to do it in the main discussion because the main discussion is enormously important and real. But part of the reason that I brought it up is one of our members, Church of Illinois, wrote in earlier in the show. Okay, when we were doing the Young Turks. Speaking of Noble Mobile, Cenk, what is the max data amount? Do you know? Thanks.
Oh my God.
And
Are you fucking kidding
now I'm putting
me?
you on the spot again. I don't know if you know.
Totally authentic question from a real viewer. Totally authentic question. You can tell this is not at all planned or scripted.
Speaking of Noble Mobile, Cenk, what is the max data amount? Do you know? Thanks. And I don't know. Now I'm putting you on the spot again. I don't know if you know.
So thank you for the question. I have confessions to make. I am a very, very heavy phone user and a heavy data user.
Oh my God, what are you doing? You're too honest.
No, and so I roll through, and there is technically no maximum to a Noble Mobile account because we just use data. I'm frankly again like probably in like the top 1 or 2 percentile of data users. And so there is no max is the genuine answer. And we have some people that are testing out what that means. But I use, to throw a number on it, I might use 25 gigs a month, which puts me in like a very like high band.
So, but you get money back if you don't use as much.
So this month I used a lot of data and I just paid $50 and did not get any money back. Last month I got a few bucks back. And again, I'm on the road a lot. I travel all the time. I have friends also who are heavy users. And what happened was I was paying Verizon $140 a month before this switch. So I go from 140 to 50. I'm thrilled. And I know 50 is the max I can pay. By the way, the other thing, what was the caller's name?
Well, it's Churchy Illinois.
Churchy. So if you travel abroad, when I was on Verizon, I paid $10 a day. And then when I came home, I got my original bill again, so I was paying like 100 for traveling, and then 140 when I got back. With Noble, it's
people are going to be saving so much money with all the international travel they're doing right now. In 2025, the economy in America is so good. People are just getting on planes. Oh, one day it's Dubai, next day it's Ecuador. Oh, fuck, I got to be in Sydney, Australia next week. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just constantly traveling to other countries. And you know what? The other thing that makes sense is people who do a lot of international travel, typically people working on a slim budget. You know, if you're doing a lot of international travel, odds are you're very poor and disadvantaged. So that $10 a day you're saving, that's going to make a world of difference to you as you make your transfer from a Boeing 747 into your private luxury personal use jet.
Yup. Pretty outrageous, the transparency of this shit. And it keeps going on. I think you guys get the gist, right? And you're welcome, Andrew Yang. We played your pitch for free. We're not sponsored by Noble Mobile, but our whole fucking audience got to find out about the perks anyway. So there you go, guys. If you need a new cell phone plan, you can hit up Andrew Yang's company. It's so funny. He's trying to be like fucking Ryan Reynolds with the Mint Mobile shit out here hawking cell phone plans. Like, it's just so fucking cringy, bro. You were just running for president and the mayor Like imagine if like Bernie Sanders was out here like selling used cars or something. Like AOC is like selling you some MLM kind of bullshit, some Mary Kay products maybe. Like that is literally the vibe this gives me.
Yeah. And look at this. Last but not least, look, this is the kind of marketing they're trying to do on Twitter. Why go to an offline party when you can doom scroll for hours? Here's all the fun Andrew Yang had at his offline Noble Mobile party. Wow. Looks like a great time.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it was very poppin'. There's like 5 people in each photo. Like they're trying to make it look like it was really well attended, but it looks like there was like 20 people dispersed throughout like 4 photos.
Yeah, and you can look, there's like normal people that are just at whatever restaurant or bar that they're pretending this event is for. So it's like, oh, we've reserved a table in the back so we can take pictures of everybody who's just here to watch the game tonight and have a couple of beers with the boys. Pretty hilarious.
This is like if we did a Vanguard meetup, we'd probably get more people than this. But yeah, pretty funny stuff. Pretty shameless shit from Cenk to just, again, for the second time in like a month, program a straight up fucking commercial disguised as a piece of journalistic content and interview. Pretty wild shit.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir.